or what we call it a main verb or auxiliary. Okay, so by full verb we or main verb we mean that it is the verb that does not need uh, an assistant or assistant from an auxiliary verb. Okay, so for example, when we use work or play or write, okay, these are called full verb or auxiliary, sorry, or main verb. Then auxiliary verbs can be divided into branches or families. Okay, so first of all, we have the do family, and we have be family, and we have family. In addition to these branches, we have additional one, which is a special branch. We call it the modal. The modal auxiliary verb. Okay, so you know that do family contains do, does, and did in the past. Be contains am, are, and we have was, were in the past, and we have also is. Okay, of course it should be up with those. This one. Okay. So concerning have, we have, has, and had in the past. So if we want to say what are the modal auxiliary, so the modal auxiliary are, will, shall, must, might, should, can, would, may. Okay, and also we have ought. Okay, these are the model, and they have special cases because they are different in use. So let's go back to the first division, which is the main and the auxiliary verb. So if we say, for example, she works have. So the verb work is a verb in present tense and it took the S of third person singular because the subject was she, which is the third person. So why do we use auxiliary? Since we can represent the action and the event by using the main or full verb. So auxiliaries, all of them, can be used sometimes as a main verb, and in general, or the basic function is to ask question and to negate the verb or the sentence. Okay, and this is number one. Number two and number three is to change the tense, of course, of the verb. Okay, so these are the main function of auxiliaries, and though they are used in these cases, in these three cases, but sometimes they are used as a main verb. Okay, so for example, if I say, for example, the verb do can be used as a main verb, the sentence will be I do my job on Saturday. Okay, so for the rest of the family, for example, he does his job on Saturday. So here do and does is used as a main verb, and of course the meaning is different from being auxiliary verb, because does and do here represent the action that is taking place in these two sentences. Okay, so when I ask, for example, what do you do? Here again, do here is an auxiliary verb, and do here is the main verb that represent the action. So here we explained how can we use do as a main verb and as an auxiliary verb. So sometimes we need to do a question, but we already have an auxiliary verb within the original sentence. For example, when I say they were at home yesterday. So here I already have an auxiliary verb, which is where. Okay, so when I want to change this or a question, I don't need to put or to get another auxiliary verb, okay, because I already have one here. For example, the question will be when when were they yesterday? So this is the question word, okay? This is the auxiliary, and this is the complement of the sentence, and this is the subject. So to change the sentence into question, we have to invert the subject and the auxiliary verb. يعني نعكسها، نخلي auxiliary verb قبل السبجect. So let's see another example. When, for example, I ask, where do you where do you work? So the original of the sentence is I work at school. To create or to extract a question from this sentence, I have to use uh, an auxiliary verb that is suitable to the subject, which is I. Okay, then in this case, I have to change the subject from I to you, because here the role of the speaker will change. So in case of negation, a negative sentence, for example, do you buy a car. The question would be yes, I do. If you remember, we said that we can't answer with yes or no. Yes. We can't answer with yes or no only because it should be a polite answer. Then I have to complete the sentence by using the object. So this is the positive case, but the negative case is no, I do not. So what about using be, family? So be is always used to form a continuous tense. اللي هو بنسميه الزمن المستمر. So it means that I have be plus full verb or main verb plus ing. So uh, the continuous tense occurs always when it express or describes an activity that is in progress. Okay, what we call it temporary activities. For example, she is washing her hair. So you may ask, in case that I want to use the same auxiliary verb, which is be, in the past, in this case, an example, they were they were going to work. And here, if we want to change is into past, we can just simply replace is with was. She was washing her hair, and here they were going to work. Present continuous, and this one is past continuous. So what about present perfect? I can say I have been English for 5 years. So here we have present perfect continuous. Another example, I would like to be in London this year. Since we have here to be, then we call this kind continuous infinitive. So, do you have any question concerning using the auxiliaries? Do you have any question?
دكتورة هم اكو ملفات PDF؟
No. I will send you this record اللي راح أنزلكم هذا التسجيل. هذا التسجيل يحتوي على كل الشرح. PDF هو فقط الكتاب اللي أنا أرسلت لكم إياه.
تمام دكتورة.
لكن أرسل وياه يعني غير هذا التسجيل أرسل لكم ملخص خاص بالقواعد يعني بالجرامر.
تمام ان شاء الله.
تمام غير يعني هذا الشرح اللي على الوايت بورد لأن أكو أشياء ما أذكرها أنا حتى لا تصير مطولة.
تمام.
Another question? Okay. So uh, the auxiliary verb be plus past participle. Okay, this form, uh, this construction of be, okay, is used to form the passive. because you know that we have active and passive. So, for example, when I say paper is made from wood, okay? So, isn't simple, but in passive. When I say, for example, my car, my car was stolen yesterday. Okay, here it is. Past simple, but also in passive. اللي هو احنا نسميه بالعربي المبني للمجهول. So the house has been redecorated. Here we have present perfect because we have has been, okay, present perfect, but also in passive. So the active of these sentences, for example, this sentence, okay, I can say he redecorate he redecorates my house. Okay. Do you have any question concerning formal tenses and active and passive? And when I send you or submit the files and more comparison between negative and positive, between tenses in general, okay? Then let's go back to our book. Okay. All the rules or the grammatical rules that has been explained that have been explained in this lecture and in the previous lecture will help you to solve the exercises in these units. So here we have a paragraph which is wonders of word. Okay, let's first read it. The wonders of word. I don't compare in kind to the wonders of the ancient world. They were all buildings such as the pyramids, and over the past 100 years we have seen amazing technological and scientific achievements. These are surely our modern wonders. It's everywhere. More than half a billion people use it, and the number of people who are online increases by 100 billion every year. In 1994, there were only a few hundred web pages. Today, there are billions. It has revolutionized the way we live and work. But we are still in the early days. Soon there will be more and more wonders to discover. Just imagine Armstrong stepped out of a space capsule onto the surface of the moon and made his famous statement. That's one small step for a man, one again leap for mankind. Since then, there have been space probes to Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and even to the Sun. One day, a space observatory will state how the first stars and galaxies began. So far, it seems that we are alone in the universe. There are no signs yet that there is intelligent life outside our own solar system. But who knows what the future holds? So, concerning this paragraph, you need to match each topic in A with two items in B. Okay, these are the topics in A, and these are the items in B, depending on the information presented in the paragraph. Okay. Here you have to answer the question related to these paragraphs. Okay. Then this exercise can be neglected يعني بتضرب can be neglected هذا بتضربوه just let's say something about parts of speech. You know that in English, like other languages, we have different parts of speech. عندنا أجزاء مختلفة للكلام. So we have a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and preposition. الفعل والاسم والصفة والظرف وحرف الجر. Okay, so here we have these sentences all contain a nonsense word أجي. This one هاي الكلمة nonsense معناها ما إلها معنى. كلمة أجي here you see. Then what you have to do is to use this word يعني I mean to use a word or replace the word أجي in the sentences with a word which is suitable to the part of speech. يعني تبدلون كلمة أجي اللي هي ما بيها معنى. Okay, sometimes as a verb or adjective or noun كفعل صفة اسم or an adverb أو كظرف. Okay, depending on the meaning of the sentence تعتمد على معنى الجملة. فكل كلمة هنا أجي بدلوها بكلمة حسب حاجة الجملة. Okay, you know that verbs are the words that represent an action or event. هي كلمة تمثل فعل أو حدث. Okay, adjective is a word that describe a noun. صفة هي كلمة تصف الاسم. The noun is a place, a thing. هي كلمة نسمي بيها شخص اسم مكان okay شيء. Okay, adverb is a word that describes the verb. الظرف هو كلمة تصف الفعل. So it is usually connected with verbs and adjectives are usually connected with noun. دائما هاي تتصل بالاسم وهاي تتصل بالفعل. Okay. So here we have sentences from 1 to 4. For example, I will show you. I couldn't hear the film because the man next to me was eating his aki so loudly. So since here I have his, okay, and here I have a verb, then this word aki should be replaced by a noun. Uh, you can also neglect the spelling pronunciation, and this exercise can be left also by you. With, work with a partner, work in a groups. Okay. This one, word formation. Here we have also another exercise related to parts of speech. Write different forms of word act using the suffixes from the box. The word act, okay, can be used in different ways and by adding a suffix. Suffix means the morpheme that comes at the end of the word and change the part of speech. هاي هو مقطع suffix. هاي كلمة suffix هو مقطع نضيفه عادة إلى نهاية الاسم أو أي كلمة أخرى تغير المعنى وتغير part of speech جزء الكلام. So here we have the word act. Okay, if we put one of these suffixes إذا خلينا واحد من هاي suffixes في نهاية كلمة act, the meaning will change and also sometimes the part of speech will change. So what you have to do is to put the word act with one of these suffixes in each of the of the blanks in these items. So here, for example, my brothers and act dash. What suffix should be here? It is an actor. This one, the first one. He is making an adverb now. Okay, and here the same. My grandmother is 89, but she is still very act. You have to add something. Here you have to match between words in A with words in B. Match a word in A with words in B, okay, depending on idiomatic use. Idiomatic use means that sometimes we have words that cannot be used randomly with any word. يعني ما نقدر نستخدمها عشوائيا وهي أي كلمة. Okay. So here, for example, we have strong, full time, film, drive, full, try on. Each of them should be used with one of these words only. Okay. So here, for example, we have strong. The word that it, which is suitable to use it with this word with strong is coffee. Strong coffee. Okay. And then you can choose the same different words with different one from A. Like here, for example, uh, these are what we call the idiomatic. When we are talking with friends, we use a lot of idiomatic expressions. For example, hurry up. See? So the word hurry should be used with up because it is an idiom. We are late. Hang on a second. I need to go to the loo. Okay? So hang should be used also with on. And also you have to match uh, these sentences in A with lines in B depending on the idiomatic use. And the rest of the unit can be neglected by you. Do you have any question? So I will make a review to the exercises that should be done by you, okay, in this unit since we reached the end of the unit. So here we said that you have to do uh, this one, this exercise, okay. Here we have to use this one, negative and pronunciation, correct the information. No, no, not this one. Sorry, not this one. Uh, this one, yes. In the grammars, what and also this grammar spot. This exercise match question in A with short answer in B and right in C. Okay, this one should be neglected, and also the exercises related to the paragraph. This one should be neglected. Number four, this one should be neglected. Here we have the parts of speech. Number one should be done by you. Okay, spelling is neglected. And here we have exercise number four, number five, and number one. This one, social expressions. These are all the exercises that are required to be done by you. Do you have any question? Any question? Okay. Thank you very much. Since you do not have any question, thank you very much for attending.